Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining today. Although all of my readings are intended to be timeless, I am recording this the day that the preliminary U.S. presidential election results are coming in, and I will admit openly, as my channel has already aligned in values that I've spoken about previously. I also did a presidential election forecast and then shared it. I do stand by my values in that way, and I did record earlier, and I have still quite a bit of energy that is uncertain if I believe in the results. It's hard for anyone to concede to something so intense. It's hard for me to accept and believe that a portion, or perhaps even a majority of people, believe so intensely the way that those individuals do. And it's hard for many of us to believe that God, source, universe could possibly take us down a path such as this. And it's interesting to me that one of the things that's coming up for me is, if roles were reversed, it may have been literal all-out civil war. And there has to be something preventing and directing the unique unveiling of this moment, the activating principles that are showing us to help ourselves to liberate from any type of deception that we hold the answers, or that we can predict or control the future outcomes that have been told to us that are beyond our comprehension. There's something at work and play behind the scenes. So I think in this moment, I'm deciding not to put up my previous post, and we'll move forward. I did get I've got this one flipping here. Previous to this, the I Ching that I received here is Liberation number 40. If you'd like to screenshot that and reverse the text to read that on your own time, I just want to say that the gist of this is taking firm and aggressive action, but also releasing tensions, moving beyond things, releasing the tension of the stress and anxiety of the not knowing, and a refreshing sense of liberation, replacing any anxiety. But then it says towards the end, and once you finally dispense with emotional ruts or resentments from former times, you'll have an excellent opportunity for personal advancement. Overall, you should feel increased energy and clarity in your dealings with the outside world. So, yes, it's talking about forgiveness and moving away from the difficulties and the resistance to what's going on. However, I still am in that moment of disbelief. So in the animal totems cards coming out, under the deck we have snow leopard, self-reliance, and coming out, coyote, revealer of truth. I will say that this earlier came out with the elephant as greatness, an elephant obviously the representative of the Republican Party in the U.S. The coyote says, revealer of truth, don't take things too seriously, make time to play, laugh, be easy, ground. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So I don't know if this is referencing like our own delusion of believing that the public was more progressive and more accepting and honoring of diversity. It's showing us the status of our friends, family, colleagues, neighbors. And Snow Leopard's self-reliance says, you are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. So maintain your character. Do not fall into the pits of mirroring the toxicity. Somebody has to be the adult in the room. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. So I think that there's an undercover resistance that will inevitably come forward. I was seeing this card that stepped forward as somebody signaling like this way, and it reminded me of how yesterday's Down to Ching, as well as it's on the community board, talked about a bow and arrow. And then we had in the Art of War was talking about a bellows. And now we see victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. I think that the way I'm going to unpack this, you are welcome, as always, to take your own intuition as master and guide for yourself. Within the kin of the common herd is like to see the endeavor of the herd mentality as what we need to uphold is a very dangerous place to be. And it's not the acme of excellence. And that's why we see, for instance, educated women as one of the main contenders of the progressive movement, because it's the educated heart space. At the end of the day, that's the representative of that cross section of reality. And if the common herd is aligned with the current trend, then that is not the acme of excellence. Just going to say that. So reason overpowers on the backside of the deck. In an argument, the most determined, loudest, or the nastiest contestant may win, with little reason involved. To use influence over power to win is harder. Someone's highly skilled at using indirect methods will win often without their adversary even knowing there was a fight. To do this, you need to understand the situation better than the others to get reason into play. So perhaps there is more coming that will shift the results. At this time, there were many millions not counted. So we'll see what happens. But Sun Tzu said, in all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. Right. Indirect methods such as mail-in ballots and so on. Number 67 reads, some may say that my teaching is nonsense. Others will call it lofty but impractical. Indeed, right? But to those who have looked inside themselves, this nonsense makes perfect sense. And to those who put it into practice, this loftiness has roots that go deep. I have just 3 things to teach you today and every day: simplicity, patience, and compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures, simple in actions and in thoughts. You return to the source of being, patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are. Compassionate towards yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. So let's go ahead. We'll get a couple of code cards. What are some of the messages that we most need to hear? We've got passion coming out. Very intense passions all over the world right now. Everybody's been watching the results. I just see 1010 looking up. I did see that earlier on the recording. 36, prosperity. Crosses passion. So I don't know if we're speaking about more financial developments, divine feminine coming out. Prosperity also, financial interference. Cosmic flower. Authority, crown chakra, 10, 7, just a couple more here. Transition, number 43. Root chakra, number 1. What's that one? Oh, root chakra wanted to be out on the deck. So we've got the crown and the root chakra showing up here. So head to toe, we are the bridge. We are the power and the authority to transition the divine feminine into elevating and honoring the divine feminine, transitioning. Throat chakra, integration, speaking up. Compassion under the deck. Any final messages? Can you clarify these messages? We'll take that one. Cosmic flower, yet again. Underneath, emergence. All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get a Kuan Yin Kelly card for us in this reading now that the energy is starting to shift and ground a little bit more securely here. We've got the bridge built. What is the message that needs to be emerging, growing from the root through the crown, outward, out of the throat chakra? What is, all right, we'll take that one, and I want those ones. So underneath we have Ivory Swan Goddess, the number 15 corresponding with the devil and forgiveness for me. And the one that flipped out earlier was Mother of Mercy, number 19. Being merciful with our enemies, not holding revenge or retribution. Anahata Kali is under the Ivory Swan Goddess, this heart chakra emergence from Mother of Mercy. And these two, we have Maiden Magu, number 16. Interestingly, we have the 15 and the 16. To me, this is my little Red Riding Hood that's telling the big bad wolf, no, this isn't yours. And so it's interesting that that card shows up. And then we have 27, Sribala. This one always reminds me of, there was this young woman in recent years, maybe like 5 years ago or something, that took and started trending because she addressed the UN. She was talking about, I think, climate change or something. But this depiction often reminds me of that person. And it also, in this moment, reminds me of different ethnicities and diversity in general. This says, divine child with wisdom beyond her years, the old soul with deep knowledge and knowing dwells within our hearts. Yes, that Anahata Kali card. She urges you to commit to your most passionate inspirations completely and without hesitation. There are genius and there are genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you recognize. Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It is not imagination that drives you forward towards your destiny, but an instinctive recognition of your true purpose. Validation from others will come later. Your path is authentic and you are destined to succeed. So, this is absolutely reaffirming to the divine feminine that you do matter, and that if this was the way to get women activated, then checkmate, MFers, here we come. And the youth of tomorrow are going to vote like their life depends on it, even if this generation didn't have the balls to. This aspect of Lalita Tripura Sundari Sri Bala translates as divine child, or more specifically as God the daughter. It is far more commonplace for the divine child to be represented as male, and in numerous cultures, having a boy is considered particularly auspicious. So, Sri Bala is not only a celebration of the divine feminine child, but an inversion of dominant cultural values. Her presence shakes up traditional power structures with her combination of innocence and fearlessness. It is my sense that there are emanations of Sri Bala in the form of particularly pure-hearted, fearless, and empowered young women speaking and acting for the protection of the feminine in our world today, such as through environmental activism. It is taught that she acts as her goddess mother Lalita to allow her to join the battle against evil. She is so passionate to fulfill her inner yearning that her body cannot keep still. Lalita expresses her concern that Bala is still a child, inexperienced, therefore potentially vulnerable. She frets at the thought of losing her daughter, especially when others could take her place on the battlefield. However, Bala petitions her mother again, asking to be allowed to express who she is. She recognizes her daughter's determination and provides her with armor and her blessing, at which point Bala kicks demon butt and saves the day. She conquers 30 demons in an extremely difficult yet perfectly executed martial arts demonstration. Now that's some serious girl power. She arises when we need to trust in what feels right on an inner level, not allowing a lack of external validation to deter us from our innate and authentic purpose. Muscle does not have to meet muscle. The strength of intention combined with pure and fearless commitment to our true nature is enough to change the course of what is happening. The mountain can be moved by faith, the size of a mustard seed. Do not underestimate your voice and your power. The story of Feisty Bala can inspire us. At first, we may gain no support for our efforts. We must continue to apply ourselves and to not give up on who we are and what we came to this planet to accomplish. In doing so, the power needed shall be divinely given. Public validation can come later, but we do not need it in order to accomplish what is required. The Tantras teach that Bala saw the battle unfolding and what was necessary to attain success with complete clarity. Adults tend to underestimate a child's capacity to see what is going on, yet the child is the most unconditioned part of us. The part that sees things as they truly are. In a reading, her presence implies that our instinctive desires to pursue a particular path of fulfillment and expression are authentic. That path is the safest and most protected path that we can take at this time. It's one on which we are closest to the divine, to our true nature with all its wisdom, intuition, and creative resourcefulness. We can more readily attract what we need. All things fall into place more effortlessly. It seems to be the opposite of playing it safe. Yet the more that we diverge from our authentic being, the more disconnected that we can become from our divine connection and the more danger that we will ultimately encounter by being quiet and being silenced. Bala is said to be Lalita's breath. What does that mean? Breath keeps energy flowing through the body. It declares that when she declares that she wants to fight, it is the stirring of an honest and natural impulse from within. To breathe is instinctive. I can't breathe, right? The childlike wilderness, unaffected, untamed of Bala is the unconditioned self that knows how to move towards its natural fulfillment and will not be deterred by false evidence appearing as real. Our minds may step in to say no or to give reasons why it's not appropriate, like the unconventional notion of a little girl as powerful and as a conquering war hero, or that women are not powerful. Yet, the innate wisdom of the soul needs to be allowed to manifest. She's not fighting for the sake of it. She's fighting against the evil that she sees with her own 3 eyes. To allow for her to arise within is to allow for the protective spirit that sees truthfully and acts with purity and fearless commitment to the path, even if our mother worries about our life choices at first. The Divine Mother empowers her, and so too empowers us to manifest our destinies with her help. I just recognized I have my mom's picture here. The Divine Mother empowers us. So too she empowers us to manifest our destinies with her help. I honor you guys being with me in this moment. Thank you. Trust in your destiny. You are more than capable of the task for which your heart yearns. And although to some of you, this emotionalism may seem ill-placed, it may seem that I should be touting more joy. This is the expression of my joy. The conjuring of my energy as it manifests in my daughter and in the people and the hearts that I reach with every word that I speak. It is evidence of my joy and my unflagging fearlessness that I speak as I believe and not acquiesce to the herd mentality that would tell me that to get more views, I could cater to the emerging trend. I've never been a trend follower. I've always been a trend setter. So I hope you will join me in this powerful time of self-reliance and conjuring. And let's ask the cards what further messages we have. Gaining a lot of money comes through. Over passion and prosperity in the divine feminine. Under the deck, we have court. There's a court proceeding underway, and I think that we're about to see something else come through. I do not concede. Flipping out, we have the rich, good gentleman with expectation. He's looking out his window, waiting for the court to come for him. Is that right? Okay. Let's see what this has also to say. A journey by boat. What type of journey? Where are we? He looks like he's packed up. I mean, I predicted in the reading that he was going to skip the country and move out. Grief and adversity. Drinking, the guardian angel there. A long way. Somebody's coming on a long journey here. A long journey is coming to an end. And then we have this stone, the eagle, and the cross. Ooh, to me, it looks like Judgment Day. Let's see what else is coming out. Now we have good gentleman with success in love. Okay, interesting cards to come out. Let's get some more here. Okay, we get the marriage card yet again with sad news, and then court once again. Interesting here. So what is it with this court? I'm going to switch decks in just a moment, but let's see if we get anything else from this deck that wants to talk about court and proceedings. Grief, adversity, sad news. There was also a passing away that was called out in one of the decks. Let's see. We get high honors, somebody being elevated, a promotion, his thoughts getting prettied up for the day, looking in the mirror at himself. A long way, the end of a long journey towards these high honors, perhaps. Living room. Let's see what else comes through here. I hope you guys are doing better than myself. I mean, I am house. Living room and house. Something quite interesting here. I mean, to me, in one of the court cases that's ongoing now about the Jan 6 stuff, he was sitting in his living room in his house while the insurrection was going on. Court is still under the deck here. Is there some type of... Here's theft once again. Gloomy thoughts. Oh boy. Yeah, there's and now we have the feminine receiving a pleasant letter, and gloomy thoughts and prison coming under the deck here. What's prison on top of? Military person and main person, the female main person. Interesting. Military person coming to the door to arrest someone from their living room, and I don't know. I mean, here we have hope, big water. I think that there's reason to believe that he should be disqualified. Disqualified. I mean, I'm not going to go against my intuition here. Here we have meetings, probably secret meetings among the elites and whatnot. And these three, what do we have here? Receiving a gift, little child, work, occupation. Interesting. So I think that we're going to be looking more into also the exchange of money, again, with that financial interference here happening with multiple cases at once. I think we're going to see that bribe money and gift money to his children and some embezzlement here. And I think that we're going to see also election interference with Elon Musk's participation and incentivizing. And here we have rich girl. I think millennia may be a wild card in this deck. And then I just got a fallout here. I was feeling that this was part of it. Court, main person again. And then we have these cards. We have rich girl, the main male court person, and his thoughts. This court person in particular is depicted a certain gender and race. And so I think that we potentially could be talking about a specific Supreme Court justice based on superficial assumptions here. But it looks like there's this assumption that he's going to go and get acquitted. And I think there's something else going on here. Looking... Yeah, okay, let's see. I said I was going to switch decks. One more shuffle here. What is emerging with the court person, the court proceedings, and some type of theft and gift, money, as well as children's rights and issues? Let's see. Anything further, or are we done with this deck? I think that's it. Now we have false person here. Interesting. Let's see with the I think this is called the Enchanted Forest deck. I can't find my book that defines it. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Boons coming up with this toad holding a ring. And that comes out with 10 of Visions. This, wait, is Visions? I thought that Visions was, yes, Visions is Cups. So 10 of Cups, it did show up reversed, which talks a lot about family, wish fulfillment, magic in this case with the 3 unicorns. Underneath we have Ace of Spells, the Ace of Wands, the passion and the motivation coming through. It's like this toad against the family here. Starlight coming out. 17. Maintain hope. Don't get lost in the darkness. 4 of Challenges. I think that even though with the 4 of Challenges being like the feeling of needing to rest, reflect, and integrate here is prominent, but it's showing a tree that has a harvest ready to emerge. So stabilizing your thoughts and feelings at this time. And now we have the 7 of Visions coming out with the 8 of Challenges and the Huntsman, number 11. I like that one. The Justice card is coming out with the Huntsman there. So the 8 of Swords getting caught up, feeling disillusioned, witnessing the choices that many have made. And then also this divine masculine stepping forward, I think, to truly see the impact and to make his choices. He's got the bow in his hand as well, and he's holding his hand with the deer, right? And underneath the deck we have 0, the white heart. I think there's an emerging integrity, and individuals will be speaking their truth in great measure. We had in the previous reading communication coming out first with empowered behind it under the deck. Let's see from the karmic deck, 3 of Roses, loving elementals. I think we do need to rejoice in the things that we can feel grateful for. 2 worlds, caught in the ruins, the karmic trench. I think that collectively there are 2 different mindsets. There's a divide, a great chasm between, and that's why we keep going back and forth in these political candidates and their views and values, and why we can't get along, because there's so much diversity, division, and lack of interconnectivity. So I hope that this reading was acceptable for those of you that don't agree, and inspiring for those that are needing that in this time. Solar plexus chakra. Do let me know if you want me to release the more triggering. I felt like it was for the people that were really having a hard time. And not everybody has to watch it, right? Soul time. I think that it'll help us to connect with our